What's up, everybody? Torn God Possible is here to continue. What if Rimuru reincarnated into Fairy Tale? Well, as you can see from the title, this was supposed to be St. Patrick's Day special, which, sorry again if you continued listening to the video even after the what if, even after at the end of the what if, you understand that I got a little distracted and a little busy, preventing me from recording / uploading these two videos on time. So yeah, sorry again. It was just, yeah. But anyways, before I start the video, let's recap. Rimuru told, pretty much met Natsu, told him that pretty much that he when he ate him by accident, that Igneel was inside of him, and after that they went to Fairy Tale and he joined Fairy Tale. Natsu told him he can stay at his place if he wanted, and that's pretty much it. Let's get to the video, starting now. We continue our story off with Rimuru, Natsu, and Happy arriving at Natsu and Happy's house. With Rimuru seeing the inside of it, thinking in his head, this place is a pigsty, a pretty much a mess. Then he asked, did someone break in? Natsu says, no. Why do you ask? Natsu and Happy says, no. Why do you ask? Rimuru says, it's a total mess. He just can't believe anyone lives in this. Just, wow. He asks if he could help, if he mind if he clean this place up for him. I forgot. I'm just not going to touch up that subject because I'm not sure if Natsu and Happy referred it messy or not. So yeah, we time skip to the next day with Rimuru asking Natsu if he could help him out with something. This is before they arrive at Fairy Tale. Head to Fairy Tale. Well, to the guild. So yeah, Rimuru asked if he could help him test out his combat capabilities. He wants to practice his own magic and abilities. Natsu immediately says, hell yeah, he's always up for a fight. Which they get away from their house several feet away, because Natsu doesn't want to destroy his house. And Happy watches from a distance saying, aye! With him thinking, I wonder who's gonna win. My bet's on Natsu. Though, he's not sure. Actually, he doesn't bet on anything because there's nothing to bet on. No one else is here. So yeah, he just watches. Natsu says, you better get ready. Which Rimuru prepares in his head, thinking, Great Sage, what will be the best way to start this fight off? Just scratch that. Start out with a Storm Dragon Roar, which before their fight, he said he wants to Rimuru says he wants to test out his Dragon Slayer magic against Natsu's Dragon Slayer magic. Which Natsu surprised, wait, you have Dragon Slayer magic? How's that? He says he tells him he gained it from Veldora, which he asks, what kind of dragon was he? What kind of dragon slayer magic? He tells storm dragon slayer magic. Natsu's excited, and both of them, which we turn back to their beginning their fight, which both of them use a storm dragon roar. Both of them use their dragon roars. Natsu using his fire dragon roar, and Rimuru using his storm dragon roar. As soon as both, which for the storm dragon roar, Rimuru leans back, and his chest starts to inflate a little bit, and leans forward again, leans forward, and spits out a whirlwind of wind and lightning, heading straight for Natsu, with Natsu countering it with his fire dragon roar, which both collide and they seem evenly matched until Rimuru releases a second burst, which the Storm Dragon Roar can release a second burst. The Storm Dragon Roar user can release a second burst to double the force of their roar, to give it more pushing power and destructive capabilities, which pushes Natsu's fire dragon roar back and hitting Natsu, sending him flying a few feet, which surprises Natsu completely. Which, after he takes that beating, that hit, he asks, "What the heck was that?" Rimuru replies, "It's a storm dragon roar. I can release a second burst of my storm." Second burst within that to push give double the power. Atsu thinks if he can try it out with his fire dragon roar, but he wonders if he could do the same thing, but then doesn't, and forgets that when Rimuru comes in appears right in front of him with give me a second. I had it somewhere. I wrote down all the attacks Storm Dragon Slayers can do. Rimuru then starts to do a Storm Dragon Slayer's Turbulent Fist. It's pretty much similar to the Fire Dragon's Iron Fist, which with this, it generates a large amount of storm, which wraps around their fists, with wind, lightning, and all that. Very destructive. Which, soon as he's about to do it, Natsu uses his own Fire Dragon Iron Fist, which collides and, well, both create a huge shockwave, blowing both of them back. Well, actually, I'm not exactly sure. But yeah. Okay. Right before Natsu tries to get back, actually the fist not blows him back. Natsu surprised again, thinking, how does this guy have so much power? Rimuru replies, well, from what I can tell, Storm Dragon Slayers magic has much more destructive capabilities and power than most other Dragon Slayer magic types. Which we're going to fast forward with Rimuru actually beating Natsu, which we time skip about a day and a half later with Lucy. Lucy gets out of the shower, which, just like in canon, on how she's explaining pretty much her own inner monologue describing her new apartment in, well, I forgot the name of the town again, Magnolia, which, when she gets out of the shower, she doesn't see anyone there. Surprising, which is surprising to you people who are listening. Which, right after she gets out of the shower, she hears a knock on the door. With Rimuru, which is actually Rimuru, Natsu, and Happy. With Rimuru saying, "You're welcome. You're lucky. If I wasn't here, these two would have broken into your apartment." Which he scratched that. Let's rewind a little bit before as Natsu tries to tells Rimuru, "You want to come on this job?" Which before Rimuru says yeah, but before he says if he can look at it, he says, "We're gonna need to get Lucy." Which Natsu tried to break into Lucy's apartment, which Rimuru stopped, smacking both him and Happy, thinking, "What are you thinking?" Which then we return back to Lucy, who's in their clothes, not in a towel, introducing them to her apartment, introducing the three, showing them her apartment, which Rimuru likes and thinks kind of cozy and cleaner compared to Natsu's place, which he says out loud, which Lucy pities him, says, because, yeah. They have an introduction, and Lucy tries to make shows how to make a contract with the spirit, with the celestial spirit, which she also explains the concept of the golden keys and all that, or whatever, just like in canon. Rimuru's somewhat interested, but it seems more like trying to find, make a contract for a temp job or something. With the way Lucy's describing it, and the way she's doing it with how to set up a contract. As well as the celestial spirit she made a contract with, the sign of the dog or whatever, the little dog or whatever, which to Rimuru looks like a little snowman instead of a dog, which he comments, "Why call him blue?" Which then after that, their interaction, Natsu stares at Lucy intensely with a weird look, with Lucy saying weird, or calling Natsu weird. He says, "That's it, you're going to be part of our team." He somewhat tricks Lucy into, just like in canon, and right as she asks to look at right as she looked at a job, Rimuru doesn't know what the job is, so he's not a part of it. But as soon as Lucy reads it out loud, he says, he looks at Natsu, staring at Natsu, thinking, "You freaking, yeah, just whatever." And apologizes to Lucy. "I'm sorry, I didn't even know what the job was. He just grabbed me out of nowhere, saying he got a job, you want to join?" I just said yes. Which then we fast forward them on the trip on a wagon to the job site or whatever, or was it a train? I forgot which. With Rimuru in a slime form, with Lucy holding him all the way there. Yeah, it was a wagon. which, while on the way there, Rimuru was trying to ask Great Sage if there any way he could get rid of this motion sickness. Great Sage says there is some ways you could. A few ways, though some of them are temporary, some are permanent. Which then, but we skip that. With them finally arriving at the town that they're supposed to be at for the job. Which Lucy says she's gonna leave. She has to go pick something up for the job, and yeah. And we cut back with Natsu, Rimuru, and Happy eating at the restaurant or whatever. Which then, soon as they hear Lucy come by, well, Rimuru think, no, this food's good. I'm happy I finally got a human form. Which he looks like a long-haired. His face looks pretty much like Natsu. His body build is pretty much the same, but he has blue hair and long blue hair compared to Natsu. And he pretty much looks like this, but his face looks completely identical to Natsu. So yeah. Lucy, it pretty much goes exactly as in canon, just a few different interactions on how they take it. When Duke Evolude refuses Lucy, calling her ugly, Rimuru thinks that guy has some strange tastes. Which, soon as Lucy gets back, she says, just does the same thing as in canon, thinking that guy is blind, doesn't know beauty. Which then Natsu says, well, time for plan T. Which Lucy agrees, but then asks, what's plan T? Take him by storm. Rimuru thinks he's an idiot. He's just a plain. That's all he's gonna think. Natsu heart may be in it, but is complete idiot to everything. He says, then tells, no, we're sneaking in. Which they do, and they break in, somewhat similar as in canon. As soon as they get in, Rimuru tells them, we gotta be more stealthy, like a ninja. Which Natsu does the same thing. Which then, the maids appear, and they smack Natsu, causes a ruckus, pretty much alerting everyone who's in the house, while in Duke Evolude's mansion. Which then Natsu knocks all of them out, sending them flying. Rimuru thinks, are you an idiot? Which then he uses his sticky steel thread, shooting it out of his hand and wrapping up most of the maids. So yeah. As soon as they find the library, they're having trouble trying to find the book, until Natsu somehow miraculously finds it. And after they find it, Lucy comments that it's actually written by a great author. It pretty much goes exactly the same, except we're going to pretty much skip a few minutes, fast forward a few minutes with their fight. Natsu and Rimuru staying behind with Natsu to take down these Vanishing Brother guys. As soon as they fight, Natsu realizes his fire magic's not doing so good. That's when Rimuru tries not to use his Storm Dragon Slayer magic, because he knows he doesn't want to cause this entire mansion to collapse right on top of them. So he uses a combination of sticky steel thread and the armored lizard scales. With a close quarter combat, and after that, tying up these two guys, which Natsu didn't get the chance to use his fire dragon wing attack, which would have caused more damage to the building. But it doesn't matter what, even if he did cause damage or not. So yeah, Rimuru takes care of it because he knows this guy's just going to try to accidentally destroy something. From what he can tell from these past few days being with Natsu. But the same thing pretty much goes as in with Lucy and Duke Evolu's fight. With everything leading up to Duke Evolu using Lucy's trick, summoning a celestial spirit, which is actually that huge monstrous made Virgo. Which, instead of just Natsu, it's Natsu and Rimuru. They grabbed onto Virgo and teleported to the celestial spirit world, then to here. They have the same interaction, then Lucy and, Natsu and Rimuru to somewhat hold off Virgo, with Lucy using Cancer, the crab celestial spirit, who doesn't really belong on the battlefield. He's a barber, or whatever. I don't know. They defeat Duke Evolu, but the amount of holes that were caused under the Duke Evolu's mansion, with all the holes Duke Evolu's diver magic created under his mansion, caused it to collapse on itself. With Natsu, Lucy, and Happy and Rimuru to escape, pretty much. Same fashion. Though this time it wasn't their fault. The mansion wasn't completely their fault that the mansion collapsed. So yeah. As soon as they get back to the dealer, which the guy, when they visited him earlier, we flash back to not with their interaction, trying to figure out when they learned that the price for the that job request was posted, saying that with him telling them that the reward has been changed to 2 million, which surprises Rimuru and pretty much surprises everyone. Which, as soon as Natsu gives this, Happy gives this, just, that stupid answer on how to divide the reward, it's Rimuru who smacks both of them instead of Lucy. Actually, both of them smack him at the same time. Lucy Happy and Rimuru Natsu. With him saying he'll work out the dividing it up as soon as they complete this. As soon as they get back. But he also realized something wasn't right. Which, as soon as they get back, the same thing happens with Rimuru, but this time both Rimuru and Natsu telling Lucy that we shouldn't take shouldn't take the reward, which turns out the same thing with which the job was to burn the book, but turns out the guy didn't know the worth of the Daybreak, which was his father's last creation, thought it was the trash and caused pain to his family, which then, thanks to Lucy, she was able to reveal that it was his greatest work ever. That was disguised to fool Duke Evolude to not know it or whatever. It was saying it was a disguise for his son. It was dedication to his wonderful son. Copy. Whatever. But yeah. As soon as they're on the run, well, not on the run, but head back to Fairy Tale, they're traveling through forests. Well, we time skip about a half a day. They're trying to track through some sort of swampy bog because both Rimuru and Natsu refused to get on the carriage to head back to Magnolia. Which Lucy is using Chronologia, the clock celestial spirit, to walk in. Which Rimuru thinks that's just lazy. Which then, as soon as they get by, Natsu smells something, and actually both Rimuru and Lucy think this cat is in. We've been falling in the wrong direction, thinking that they're going the wrong way, but then Natsu smells something. It's Gray, which he starts fighting him. Rimuru thinks, I remember him. He was from the other day when Natsu introduced him to Fairy Tale and got accepted. As soon as they calm down and stop fighting, they rest near a cliff that's a high cliff that's next to a lake with, well, happy fishing. Grave tells them, if you know any better, you should get back to Fairy Tale soon. I heard news that Urza's returning soon. Which Rimuru doesn't know who that is. But Lucy says, the Urza? She heard some things about her, but says she's not mentioned. There's no picture of her in Sorcerer Weekly. And all. As soon as both Urza and Rimuru ask, how is she like? Both of them say scary, which confuses both Rimuru and Lucy. Saying it's completely scary. Jesus, comparing her to a giant that can kick down 3 mountains, which there's an argument saying with Happy saying stop exaggerating, Gray. Stop exaggerating, Natsu. It's not 3, it's more like 2. With Lucy coming, guys, even if she could kick down 1 mountain, that's still scary. Which Rimuru thinks it's actually sweating as well, which he's in his human forms still. Thinking, which then he hears a warning in Great Sage giving him a warning that there's nearby enemies about to attack you. He says something, tells everyone to get down, but no one listens, and they get ambushed by a giant sandstorm, which all of them get up from the sandstorm. They notice Happy's gone, and Natsu says, "Happy!" which with sand pouring out of his mouth. We turn to Happy. Help me! As soon as Rimuru, which then he tries to, which Happy kept saying, I gotta pee, and I feel like it's gonna make me taste weird, because these guys are trying to eat Happy. Cook them and eat them. One chicken man, one green, pointy-eared guy, another one holding a crystal ball, the other, yeah. That's when Natsu, Rimuru, Lucy, and Gray appear to save Happy. Rimuru doesn't really use that much. He just uses his fists along with armored lizard's scales to encompass, along with his sticky steel thread to capture the guys without any trouble. Which they say happy. They pretty much ended pretty quickly. With all of them wrapped up in Rimuru's sticky steel thread. Which Gray says, huh, you're pretty good or whatever. Complimenting Rimuru on with his sticky steel thread to restrain these guys. But as soon as he did, they hear the guy tries to mention lullaby, which then after he mentions it, a shadow just appears, which takes those guys away before Rimuru. As soon as it was fast enough, Rimuru didn't notice in time until it was too late. The shadow captured this guy with shadow magic. Captured the guys they took the guys they restrained. Thinking, lullaby? What's going on? But yeah, that's pretty. Which then we turn to the guy running away, shadowy figure running. Jumping through the trees, getting away. Which yeah, I'm bad at this, but okay, let's continue. That's pretty much it for the video, guys. I really hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and sorry again for the late upload. I was busy and distracted. Mostly distracted by a lot of things. Today was St. Patrick's Day. Plus I was helping around the house. Doing a little bit of early spring cleaning or whatever. I don't know. So yeah. Hope you guys like, comment, subscribe to my channel. And I won't be uploading any new parts of this What If for a long while. Just a heads up for you guys who watch my videos. So yeah. See you later.